Hello everyone, thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are in for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Wow, you can imagine what somebody would do to her fellow human being. A co-wife has poured hot water on her mate, that's the second wife, after a heated argument. The co-wives are Iklima Musa and Justina Peter. They both had a serious argument, very serious one, which resulted into their husband, who has to now come out to separate them. That's to tell you how serious the fight was. And their husband, who is by the name Peter, who tried to ensure that there's peace between them after that serious argument. But unknowingly to him, that these women were not still at peace with each other. After they had separated this fight, the second wife, that's Iklima, went out to get her clothes. She had washed her clothes and it was dried up, so she now went there to get her clothes out from the line. So while she bent down, and after packing the clothes, she bent down, was trying to carry them up. The next thing was Justina, whom she just finished arguing with, that the husband came to settle both of them, came out and poured boiling hot water on her. Oh, boiling hot water. So you can imagine the pain that her second wife, her second mate, must have gone through. And this has left Ikilma with threatening severe burns. Oh, you can imagine the kind of pain this lady went through. Just imagine, even just putting your finger on the fire or in the hot water, or knowing you don't know it's hot water, you just put your finger in there. You feel a very serious pain, not talk of someone pouring it on your body. So from her waist upwards, she's now in severe burns. You can see the picture. You could see that this is not a minor burns. Oh, I don't know how some people could be this hearted, Why would you go to this extent? Why? And however, when it actually happened, Iklima started screaming. And she said she never even expected anything like that, because they had the argument and the husband just separated them. And a few minutes later, that's when she now went to go and get her clothes that she had dried in the line. And the next thing was hot water all over her. And luckily for her, her husband was still around and he was close by. So otherwise, if the husband was even around, only God knows what would have happened to her, because no one would have come to her rescue if it was just her and her mate, Justina, was just left in the house. So as soon as her husband heard her, he now had to rush out. Unexpectedly, he didn't even expect, no one saw this coming. He didn't even expect that Justina, whom he just separated an argument with Iklima, would still go back to do such an act, or to carry out such an act on her. He had to now rush her to the hospital. Even the neighbors, everybody was so surprised, because seeing her burns, like, why would you do this to your fellow human being? It's too much. And this woman, funny enough, when you don't expect something, could imagine the pain, the trauma, because you didn't try to even run away or escape, because she came from behind. And it was difficult for a Iklima to even see her, not to even talk of trying to run away to avoid it. So that's why it's so painful, because she was standing right there and the whole hot water just poured on her. So the burns would be very, very severe, because there was no escape for a Iklima. She was rushed to Sabolayi Specialist Hospital in Mangu. So currently she's actually receiving treatment, and this is not the first time they've had serious issues. And that was what made Iklima. They had a very serious fight in 2019, and then in August precisely, she now left the house because it was becoming too much. She had to leave in August, and she now returned this 2020. She left in August 2019, and then she now returned this last year. Sorry, well, in the new year, she now returned in last year 2020. She thought that the long distance or the time she gave Justina would be enough for her to get over whatever anger or pain she's having in her mind. Unknowingly to her that Justina, the first wife, is still nursing grudge, hate, and pain inside of her heart. And she said the first day she just returned, Justina followed her into her room and kept raining insults on her. And they even fought. And that was when Iklima just knew that there's still trouble, that peace hadn't come into the house. Her mom, that's Iklima's mom, was so terrified because she was not even around. Like, she was not in the same city where Iklima was. She was actually in Lagos as of the time this incident happened. It was Iklima's sister that called the mom to notify her that look at what has happened to Iklima. The mom was very furious and upset because she said this is not the first time that Justina is trying something very terrible. That Justina, the other time, Justina had poured something into Ikilima's bathing water. And after she had used that bathing water, she now left Ikilima's skin injured. She had injuries on her skin. And unknowing to Ikilima what was going wrong, until the doctor had told her that Justina poured acid, that what she's seen, what happened to her, was as a result of acid being poured on her body. But I don't know. With this kind of a person, living with this kind of a person is dangerous, because if someone could go to this extent, one, she poured something in your water which is acid, now pouring hot water on you, is it advisable to keep living with this kind of a human being? Is it advisable? And at first, her mom was not even comfortable with her returning back to that house. That's the problem with having more than one wife in the house. Her mom was not okay with her returning, but she still returned back to her husband's house. And right now, Iklima is so angry that she has said she will not forgive Justina for what she has done. Right now, they are looking for justice. They are seeking for justice for Iklima. This is too much. Why would you do this to somebody? And someone in pains like this, you can imagine the pains Iklima will be going through at the moment. Burns on your body, just single tip on your finger, burn on your finger, any burn you have, or any part of your body, no matter how little it is, you go through pains for days with that minor burn. Not to talk of a severe burn that Iklima has on her body right now. However, the mom is saying that justice must be done with regards to what she has done. This is just too much. And funny enough, with all of this, Iklima is still willing to be with her husband, but she's now giving a condition that except they're going to live in separate houses, that she can't live with Justina in the same house anymore. Yes, because why would you still live with this kind of a person? If she could go to this extent, this kind of a person can kill. Yes, because this bonds you're having, some severe bonds lead people to death. Once you can't carry the pains anymore, some people die of with burns on their body. Even her family members, everybody is so shocked, and everybody wants justice to be done for her. But I'm surprised with this kind of person. Well, I don't know, it's just that she's already married to this man, but this is another case of domestic violence, not coming from the husband now, is now coming from a fellow, your co-wife. That's the first wife. This is a domestic violence now. You can also refer to this, and this is what they said people should run away from. So I don't know what advice you'll give to such a woman going through this kind of a thing when you are married in your husband's house. Is she to leave the husband and start life all over again, which I know will be difficult? Secondly, if she continues being married to this man but living in separate house, will it stop Justina, that's the first wife, from attacking her? Because they said this problem had started ever since Iklima came into the house as a second wife. It's difficult. This is a difficult situation right now, because for me, I don't know if it's advisable for her to keep being married to this man, because it's so obvious that Justina is not letting go. She's out to see that Iklima leaves not just the house, but leaves her husband. She feels he is her husband. She is the first wife, and this is an intruder into the house. So what do you people think about a situation like this? Because it's obvious that Iklima's life is in great danger. You don't know what next Justina would plan for her. Rather than staying where there is domestic violence, where your life is being threatened, usually they advise people, take your heels and run away before it will be your cops. People come, your family members will come and pick up from that particular home. Because it's not worth it that you stay in a place where you're not safe, your life is being threatened, you're not even sure of what's going to happen next. Okay, look at this incident. She never knew that Justina could go to this extent. She never even knew that Justina still had a grudge in her heart after she left in August 2019, coming back in 2020, thinking that, okay, that space would give Justina time to heal whatever grudge or hate she has. But it didn't change anything. All right, now she's back. Even after the argument, they had settled or separated them, whether they settled or not, but the husband had separated them. And that ended at that time. And unknowingly to Ikilima, that Justina was still coming back for her, and coming back in a big way. Because this is a big way, coming back with hot water, pour on your fellow human being. That means this kind of a person can go to any length to do any harm or do anything to you. Is it advisable for Ikilima to go back? Guys, what do you people think? Is she to keep on with this marriage with this particular man? Or is she to run away or leave this marriage and start off life all over again? It may not be easy, but I'm only trying to put this on the table because there are different suggestions I'm trying to put out there, or different opinions or different options. Because for me, this lady's life is in great danger. Justina is not willing to let go of her husband, and she's ready to go to any length where you know that your life is being threatened. You're not even sure of the next minute what will happen to you. Guys, this is a situation where you like, some people will say, run away before you end up being dead. Advice or counseling us to take a right decision, because she's still willing to be in this marriage, but she's saying they should be in separate houses. Being in separate houses, will it stop Justina? That's the question. Will it stop the first wife from doing what she's doing? However, her family members, Iklima's family members, saying that justice should be done so that this would not repeat itself again. But will that change anything? I pray for Iklima to get healed. I pray for a speedy recovery, because it's terrible that someone is going through these pains. This is just the new year, and starting with burns all over your body, it's not a good one at all. Friends, thank you for coming up today. Please do click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. God bless you all.